Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TechMadeCalm. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to apply for ESA online in a simple and calm way. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, unsure where to start, don't worry, I've got you. In this video, you'll learn what ESA is and who can claim, how to apply online, what you'll need before you begin, helpful tech tools that make the process easier, and where you can get personal support. So, what is ESA and who can claim? Employment and Support Allowance, or ESA, is a benefit for people who are currently unfit for work because of illness or a health condition. This type is called New Style ESA, and it's based on your national insurance contributions rather than your income or savings. That means it's not means tested. So whether you can get it and how much you can get is not affected by your savings, investments, or your partner's income or savings, which can be really helpful for some people. It's usually paid every 2 weeks, and it gives you financial support while you recover or while you prepare for alternative employment if you're not able to go back to your previous job. Now, there's some rules if you want to work while claiming. You can do what's called permitted work, which means you can work up to 16 hours a week, and that includes self-employment and earn up to around £195 a week after tax and national insurance without it affecting your ESA. If you go over these limits, it could change your entitlement, so it's always worth checking first. This can be really important if you're self-employed or you run a small business because you don't get statutory sick pay. So if you're unable to work and you can't pay yourself statutory sick pay, you may be able to get ESA as long as you've paid enough national insurance contributions over the past couple of years. If you're a company director and you take dividends from your business, these may not always count as earnings for ESA purposes, as long as the amount of work you're doing as a director falls within the permitted rules. But this can be a bit complicated, especially if you take a salary as well as dividends. So it's always worth getting personalized advice. Another really important point that I want to let everybody know is that New Style ESA is classed as a contributory benefit. So that means it's not a public fund. So in some cases, migrant workers who have no recourse to public funds may still be able to claim it if they've been working in the UK and have paid enough national insurance contributions, usually for around the last 2 tax years. You still need a fit note from your GP, but it doesn't have to say that you are fully unfit for work. Um, it can say that you're not fully fit or that you can work with adjustments or reduced hours, and ESA may still apply while you recover. Um, and just want to say this because it's really important. I think a lot of people assume they won't qualify for employment and support allowance because they're self-employed, or they run a small business, or they take dividends, or they have no recourse to public funds, or because they're still doing a few hours of work. But in many cases, you may still be eligible depending on your national insurance contributions and the type of work you're doing. So please, please, please don't rule yourself out. It's always worth checking your situation and getting personalised advice. And at the end of this video, I'm going to signpost you to some places where you can get free confidential advice that's tailored to your circumstances so you can find out whether you might qualify. And when when should you apply for ESA? So you can apply for New Style ESA when you are unfit for work because of a physical or mental health condition and you're no longer entitled to your company's sick pay or statutory sick pay. If your statutory sick pay is going to run out, or if you're not eligible for statutory sick pay at all, you don't have to wait until you have no income. You can actually apply 3 months, up to 3 months before your statutory sick pay ends, which can really help prevent any gap in payments. This can be especially important if you're worried about your income suddenly stopping, or you need some financial stability while you focus on your health. In some situations, you may also be able to backdate your employment and support allowance claim for up to 3 months, depending on when you became unfit for work and when you got your fit note. So if you think you might qualify, it's definitely worth checking your dates and getting some advice. Just make sure you don't miss out. So what you'll need to apply. Okay, so the first thing is your national insurance number, because as I said, ESA is based on your national insurance contributions. You'll also need your bank account details, including your account number and sort code, so that payments can be made to you directly. They'll ask for your doctor's name, address, and phone number, and you'll usually need a fit note or a sick note to confirm that you're currently not fit for work or that you need adjustments or reduced hours. If you're working, you'll need to provide details of any income, including self-employment or permitted work, just so they can check it fits within the rules we talked about earlier. You'll also need the date your statutory sick pay ends, or if you're not eligible to statutory sick pay, the date your income stopped. And if your statutory sick pay has already ended, please remember to ask your employer. You can go confidentially to their HR and ask for what's called the SSP1 form, because ESA may ask you for that as well as part of the claim. So having all of this ready before you start can make the application much smoother and help avoid any delays along the way. So how to apply online. The easiest way is to go to the official Government ESA page, and I've put the link in the description and the comments, so you can just click it rather than having to type it in. But make sure you go to the official .gov website. And if you're watching this on social media, it'll also be in my bio profile link, so it's really easy to find. Once you're on the page, click Apply Now, and you'll be asked a few quick eligibility questions first. The system will then will tell you if you may qualify based on the information that you give. If it looks like you're eligible, you can then click Start Now and begin your application. But don't worry if it feels a bit overwhelming or you're not very confident with online forms. I'm going to show you some screenshots in a moment so you can see what it looks like step by step. And please remember, you don't have to complete it all in one go. Having the information ready that we talked about in the last slide can really help and make the process smoother and avoid delays. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the screenshots. Just take your time and you can pause the video at any point or save it to come back to if you need to. There's no rush and you can go through it at your own pace. So once you've started the online process, you'll see a few quick questions to check your eligibility. They'll usually ask things like whether you've been employed and paid national insurance recently, whether you're under state pension age, whether you have a health condition or disability. These questions help the system work out whether you might qualify for ESA based on the information that you give. And then once you've answered those questions, the system will tell you whether you may be eligible. So if it says you might qualify, that means it's worth continuing with the application. This is really helpful because a lot of people assume they won't be eligible and never apply, but the system may tell you that you actually could. After that, you'll be given the option to start the application. This next stage is where the form becomes more detailed and it will ask you for your personal information and employment history, as well as things like your doctor's details and the date your statutory sick pay ends. So after this point, you'll move into the full application. So I'm not going to show you that part on screen because it obviously includes private information, but the layout is very similar to the ones you've just seen, so you know what to expect. Just take your time with it, always save it and remember any login details and come back later. And before we finish, I just want to mention a few tech tools that can really help you with your ESA application, and the whole process can feel a lot easier. So the first one is ChatGPT, which you can use for um, guidance. You can help with wording, understanding questions, explaining things in a clearer way. If you struggle with forms, spelling, or finding the right words, it can really be a useful tool to support you and take some of the stress out of it. Another handy tool is the Notes app on your phone, especially if it has a scan documents feature. You can use it to take clear photos or scans of letters, fit notes, the SSP1 form, anything you might need to upload, and it's completely free. It means you don't need a printer, a scanner at home, you don't need to go to the library, and you can send the documents, upload the documents straight from your phone, or then if you are not confident doing it on your phone, you can use email. You will need a email account anyway, so something like Gmail can be really helpful. If you don't already have one, it's free, it's easy to set up, and it makes the simpler for the um, DWP to contact you about your claim. It also gives access to Google Drive, where you can save or safely store documents, and Google Calendar, which can help you keep track of appointments and any deadlines. And if any of this feels a bit overwhelming, just don't worry. I'm going to be making some short, simpler videos that will walk you through these things step by step. So I'll be covering how to get started with ChatGPT and use it to help with forms. I will be doing how to scan documents using your phone, how to set up a Gmail account and use Google Drive to save important documents, and how to use Google Calendar to keep track of appointments and deadlines. These will be really quick, easy guides that you can follow along with, and they'll make the whole process a lot calmer and more organized. So if you found this helpful, please like this video, share it with someone who might benefit from it. You never know who could really use this information. Let me know in the comments if this has helped you, or if you've used any of these tools before. I'd love to hear your experience, and it really helps me know what is useful for you. Also, please suggest any other topic you'd like me to cover. It could be benefits, online applications, tech tips, or anything you'd like support with. I really want this content to be useful and helpful for you. So, if these short guides will help you, make sure to follow, subscribe, or save this page so you don't miss out. If you'd like personalized advice that's tailored to your own situation, here's some great um, uh, places to start with. So you've got Citizens Advice, they can help with ESA and benefit questions and explain what you might be entitled to. Then online, you've got Entitled To. This is a benefits calculator. You can check what support you may be able to claim. Step Change, if you're worried about debt or your finances while you're unwell, they offer free confidential support. Scope, they have a disability benefits helpline who can help with questions around ESA, PIP, and other support. And then Turn to Us, they can help you look for grants and financial support you might be eligible to. All of these services are completely free, confidential, and designed to help you understand your options. And you don't need to remember them. I've put all the links in the description and in the comments. And if you're watching on social media, they'll also be in my bio, so they're really easy to find. And please remember, don't rule yourself out. Everyone's situation is different, and getting the right advice can make a huge, huge difference. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who might benefit. You never know who could really use this information, and let me know what topic you like to cover next. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. And hopefully we're helping make technology and life admin feel a lot calmer and a lot easier. Follow me, give me a thumbs up. It's totally up to you, but I'd love to have you here. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.